Y'all, I love cranberry sauce. I used to think that I didn't. Growing up, Mamaw, Mama, pretty much everybody that I knew bought the cranberry sauce that you buy from the grocery store that's in the can, and you could like slice it on the ring marks. And I know some people think that that is just the best, but I much prefer homemade cranberry sauce. I thought I didn't like cranberries and cranberry sauce all the way up into adulthood, and then I found a homemade recipe and I thought, well, we'll give it a try, and I realized that I loved it. Just tell you, now is the time to do that. Even if you can't make it right now, get your cranberries while they're on sale, and you can put them in the freezer until you're ready to make this. Go ahead and dump my cranberries into my pot. And y'all, this is a great beginner recipe because it's pretty straightforward and easy to follow. It's also a water bath recipe, so you don't need a pressure canner to do this. You just need a pot big enough to fit your jars in. This recipe is super easy, and you can adjust it based on the quantity that you want to make. It's a 1 to 1 to 1, so 1 12-ounce bag of cranberries, 1 cup of water, and 1 cup of sugar. And then you can do that however many times you want. I'm doing it times 3 today. So I have 3 12-ounce bags of cranberries that I just kind of looked through to make sure there wasn't any that I wanted to pull out that might be mushy. And then gave them a rinse, and they're in my pot. I'm going to get my sugar and my water. 3 cups of water, 3 cups of sugar. Again, because I did 3 of the 12-ounce bags of cranberries. If you've ever seen me make just like a single batch of cranberry sauce that we're going to eat with a meal, I don't always put that much sugar in it. Matter of fact, most of the time I use about half of that amount, but I found that canning, this is the recipe that I follow. Also, I used some organic cane sugar. You could use white sugar if that's what you have and what you use. Now this is optional, but I'm also going to add a little bit of ground cinnamon.
Hey, Mommy.
Yes.
I'm so full.
Okay, one moment. This is a ½ tablespoon of cinnamon that I'm going to put in. You could also put a little nutmeg. You could do, you know what, I might also do some ground clove, just a little bit, probably like ½ teaspoon. A little sprinkling, just to really give it a holiday-ish flavor. We're gonna eat this year-round. It's so good on turkey. I love it on dressing. It's also good on chicken. I'll even like dip chicken fingers in it. But that'll give us a little bit of that holiday feel, even after the holidays have come and gone, and we're getting to enjoy this out of the pantry. You don't have to put the spices in there though. That's optional. You can put however much you like. All right, now I'm going to turn my stove top on. And we're going to let this start heating up. The cranberries, let me get you in close. The cranberries will start to burst. It's actually quite the pleasant sound and very rewarding when you start hearing them pop. And you want them all to burst and then to keep cooking down. They will naturally thicken up, kind of like a jelly would. So we're going to let all of these burst, and then we're going to let it keep cooking until it starts to thicken and all the cranberries are really broken down. It'll take probably about 15 minutes. I also have my water bath canner heating up with my jars in there getting warm because our cranberry sauce is going to be warm, so I want to put it in warm jars and going ahead and getting a head start on having my canner hot. So I also have that on warming up. While our cranberries are doing their thing, I want to thank Ana Luisa Jewelry for partnering with me on today's video. All the jewelry that I'm wearing today is from Ana Luisa. I have worked with them for probably close to a year now. I have several pieces of their jewelry and have always been impressed. Everything that I'm wearing today is from Ana Luisa. I have pieces that I've worn pretty much daily for months and months and months, and they have not tarnished. They have not irritated my skin. I have sensitive skin. They've not bothered me at all. I'll also tell you they have great customer service and a really great warranty. Some of the newest pieces I have are this bracelet. It's a cuff style bracelet, and these hoop earrings. Something I usually say when I'm describing this jewelry is that it's classic with a little bit of edge, just enough that it gets noticed and people compliment it, but nothing that's over the top and in your face. When I can share about a really great product with you and help you get a discount on it, I'll be sure to do that. And I wanted to share about Ana Luisa today because I have some really great Black Friday deals coming up. So if you want to get something special for yourself, or maybe you have some gifts that you want to take care of, make sure you check out their website and their Black Friday deals. I'll put a link down in the description box for you. For the quality of the product, the warranty they offer, the great customer service, it's at a really great price. And then when they have these sales, you can get an even better discount. I have already started getting some Christmas gifts from Ana Luisa. Shh, don't tell anybody. I got Audrey some earrings, and I think she's gonna love those. So definitely great gift ideas. Thank you again to Ana Luisa for working with me on today's video. It's always a pleasure to work with them. There'll be a link for you down in the description box. I'm thinking this is probably going to need about another 10 minutes. I'll show you the consistency that we're looking for. I'm going to keep an eye on it because I don't want it to boil over. If you feel like it's popping you could put a lid on. Just want to make sure it doesn't boil over. And I'll show you the consistency that we're looking for before we put it in the jar. You have to be careful if you put a lid on it, because once it right when it starts boiling, it will want to boil over, and it will calm down and settle down. But if you have a lid on it, then you might not realize it and it might boil over. I just kind of stand here and keep an eye on it and stir it when I need to. Am I like fogging up the camera? I don't know, but I wanted to show you the consistency that we're looking for. So, see how it coats the back of the spoon? That's what we're looking for. And at this point, there's a couple of things you can do. If you want to keep it very straightforward and basic, you can put this straight into your jars now, and we can get them in the canner, which is what I'm going to do. It's the way I enjoy it. If you wanted, you could run this through a blender, or you could put an immersion blender down in it and break up the pieces even more. Be careful, because it's going to be hot. Or if you wanted it like the store-bought jellied cranberry sauce, you could run it through a sieve. Now, if you do that, you're going to end up with less product because you're taking all the berry pieces and everything out. But if that's what you want, you could do that. I like it just like it is. I think those pieces of berries give it really nice texture, gives it that homemade feel. It will set up in the jar and get nice and thick. So yeah, that's what I like to do. It's going straight in the jar like it is, but if you want to run it through a blender or even run it through a sieve and get all the pieces out, you could, if it's what you wanted to do. You can see though that this is already thickening up, and as it cools down it'll get even thicker. As a matter of fact, I have some in the refrigerator that we had with dinner last night. I can show you what it looks like after it's all the way cooled down. This is the batch that I made last night that we had with dinner. This was just a single batch, and it's what we had left over. This is good on sandwiches, on turkey sandwiches. I said I dipped chicken fingers in it. We had it on dressing last night. I don't know that this necessarily needs to be debubbled. It's not really a consistency that you're going to get a whole lot of air bubbles, but for the sake of doing it, I already had a butter knife out, so I'm just going to run it around in it. If there is any air pockets, that'll push it out. And then I'm going to wipe the rim to make sure there's nothing on there that would prevent a seal. Put on my flat. Put on my ring fingertip tight. That means you just spin it as much as your fingers will spin it, and then I hold it and turn it just a little bit more. Then into my canner. I made a boo-boo, y'all, and I thought I'd show you. I did not have my lid on this one tight enough. You fingertip tie, it's really not anything to stress about, okay? You just want your lid on there tight enough that it holds your flat on, but you don't want it so tight that you're just cranking it down really hard and the air can't escape. I didn't have that one on tight enough, and I kind of knew it. It was one of those things where when I put it in the canner, I was like, did I put that lid on tight enough? Well, I didn't, and it floated off. This batch, the 3 12-ounce bags of cranberries, 3 cups of sugar, 3 cups of water, it'll make 8 half-pint jars or 4 pint jars. I kind of had to do a mixture of both. I used all of the half pints that I had, and then I did 1 pint jar. Either size, you're going to process in your water bath canner for 15 minutes. When that timer goes off after 15 minutes, I hear mine is just about at a boil again. Once it starts boiling, that's when you set your timer. So let me go ahead and do that. And what I like to do is when my timer goes off, I turn the heat off on the stovetop and I crack the lid to let it start cooling down. And I let it sit there for about 5 more minutes, and then I'll pull them out of the canner.
My handbell.
What, darling?
Handbell.
Okay. Did you hear it? One of them just sealed. As long as all of those jars seal, and I am confident that they will, the 4 jars lids have not let me down. As long as they all seal, which means the little button that's raised up on the top of that lid, it'll suction down and you hear like a little ping. As long as that suctions down, it's sealed. You can put it in the pantry and store it there. If one happens to not seal, we'll just put it in the refrigerator and we'll use it first. That's just kind of our rule of thumb for those kinds of things. Thank you again to Anna Louisa for partnering with me on today's video. That link will be down in the description box for you. Y'all get in the kitchen and make some memories with the people you love. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.